So Silent Cinema is a project of mine where I write new scores for some of my favorite old films, tour them around, and perform them live with the films. Back in the day, this was how you would see a silent film. It was silent, and it was maybe awkward to sit in a movie theater with 100 people quietly for an hour and a half and watch a film. So there would be a piano player playing along with the film, and sometimes people wrote long scores to films. Our program of Buster Keaton short comedies is always a hit with audiences of all ages. Keaton was one of the great geniuses of cinema history, and his films still resonate with audiences today. Keaton's films are rich with the spirit of urban America in the 20s, and so I've tried to compose music deeply evocative of that spirit, drenched in everything from hot jazz and blues to klezmer, ragtime, and bluegrass. Of course, if you'd gone to see a Keaton film in the theaters in the 1920s, you probably would not have heard any of those styles of music. So this is not historical performance. Rather, it's maybe historically evocative performance, meant to capture a certain mood and spirit of urban America in the 20th century, but refracted through the lens of the present. The films that Charlie Chaplin did for Mutual Film Studios are the only Chaplin films that he never wrote his own music to. So they're the only films available of his for new film scoring projects. I really wanted to give these scores a different style than the Keaton films, because really the two comedians have completely different styles. I wanted to capture the devilish character of Charlie Chaplin, the way he constantly destabilizes situations, turning any semblance of civility on its head. To do this, I chose a lot of popular, well-known classical melodies and cleverly deconstructed them. And I found audiences really responded to this. They get the jokes, because the scores are full of these musical jokes, and they come up afterwards and they say, oh, I recognize that Bach or that Schubert, and I love the clever way you deconstructed it. Douglas Fairbanks' The Mark of Zorro is the original Zorro film. It's an exciting tale full of romance and adventure with great action sequences and great stunts. It's set in Spanish California, but pays very little attention to any historical authenticity. And I wanted to capture this inauthentic Latin bravado in the score. So I packed the score full of all sorts of Latin-esque genres, from flamenco to tango to mariachi to salsa, and made a very over-the-top, exciting score. It's a real hit with audiences of all ages. Our annual Halloween tour began with just one film, Nosferatu, but has since expanded to contain many silent horror films. Nosferatu is the world's first vampire film, a very popular film. We do it every year. It's set in Transylvania, and I wanted to capture that Eastern European atmosphere, so I scored it actually for a klezmer ensemble with clarinet, violin, piano, accordion, bass, and incorporated a lot of klezmer themes into the horror music atmosphere of the score. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is one of the most influential of all German expressionist films, known for its striking use of set design and for having the first ever twist ending in a film. Our score uses the same instrumentation as the Nosferatu band, but adds an organ to give the film a grainy, dreamy vibe like an old radio drama. Vampire is not strictly a silent film, but it's silent enough for us to play a score along to. It's a very strange film, grainy, hazy, unsettling, disturbing in a David Lynch sort of way. I wanted to differentiate this score from our other horror film scores, and so we incorporated a lot of electronic elements into the score. A lot of digital and analog synthesizers and samplers. We did a lot of our own sound design to create these atmospheric soundscapes. Many people don't know that Alfred Hitchcock wrote 9 silent films, 2 of which are true Hitchcockian thrillers. I've written scores to both of those, The Lodger and Blackmail. They're scored for strings and piano, and the scores are meant to evoke those famous Bernard Herrmann scores from Vertigo and Psycho. Sergei Eisenstein is one of the real heavyweights of early film, both in his pioneering use of montage and as a film theorist. Not So Silent Cinema has scored 2 of his early films, Strike and Battleship Potemkin, both films heavily soaked in the pathos and politics of early Soviet Russia. The scores are scored for a jazz piano trio, a perhaps surprising instrumentation, but one which works quite well. Seeing a film with a live band is a really different experience, and audiences respond quite enthusiastically. They see new things in the films, and they hear new things in the music, and they make connections between the film and the music in ways they wouldn't do in a modern film. It's also more of a collective experience to have a live band playing in the room, and it really feels like we're all doing this together, all experiencing this movie together as a group.